Mario Kart World is having a huge Nintendo Direct tomorrow, hopefully fleshing out this game more and showing us what we can expect, because right now a lot of people are worried that the main meta of this game is just going to be driving straight. I have a bunch of new gameplay clips that could show us how the meta could change drastically and how there can actually be some really cool things that you can do in your races. I also found a lot of cool gameplay clips that also show off some new functions and some new things in this game, so you're definitely going to want to stay until the end to see them all. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We are probably going to go live for tomorrow's Nintendo Direct, so you're definitely going to be here, watch it with me, and also stay tuned to follow up on all the information that was announced there, because I'm sure we'll be covering it and analyzing everything. First off, Nintendo just sent out their official tweet regarding Mario Kart World's Direct, saying join us on April 17th at 6 AM Pacific, which will be 9 AM Eastern, to learn more about Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch 2 in the Mario Kart World Direct. The live stream will be roughly 15 minutes. Now, that's pretty short. I mean, the Mario Kart 8 Direct back then was about 35 minutes in length, and it wasn't the greatest show. It was kind of slow and padded out, but at the end of the day, you could still show a lot of stuff in just a short amount of time. It just depends on how they talk about things and if they spend too much time on stuff that we already know or not. But I can't lie, it is a little worrying for me, because if there is going to be a story mode or some type of extra big mode in this game, I feel like 15 minutes may not be enough to show that mode off as well. But who knows, we're just going to have to wait and see. They had to really prove to us, though, why this game is $80, because right now it looks really good, but definitely not $80 good. Now I want to jump into the meta of the game, because a lot of people are worried that there's not going to be a lot of things that you can do trick-wise or just meta-wise in order to gain an advantage, but there seems to be a lot of mechanics going on in this game. For instance, the wall riding is going to be bigger than we think. If you look at this scene in the treehouse and notice right in front of Peach, you'll see the penguin actually drive off the ledge here and drive on the side of the wall, gaining a massive position advantage by doing so. So it seems like some turns in the games will actually allow us to drive on the sides of the walls, and this honestly is the best approach, considering the fact how far the penguin flings off of this ramp as well, almost as if it got a boost from just driving on the side of this wall. Now let's be realistic, how many times in this game are we going to be able to hit something like this? It's hard to say, because how many turns have a perfect wall like this for us to drift on? I don't know, but either way, this does open up the possibilities for some tracks to be kind of exploited, and I really like this. We have another clip from the demo that actually shows somebody doing another tech that looks so cool. With the cape feather finally leaving battle mode and being an item in the actual races, a lot of people wondered what's the point, but it looks like you might be able to use it to do some really cool tricks and also hit some really cool shortcuts. As we see in this scene, Shy Guy actually uses the feather in order to hop onto the light post and continue to trick off the following one as well. And it makes me wonder if we'll be able to trick off of anything that's on the sides of the road as well, like guardrails or signs, traffic cones, anything that could be lining the streets, which could be really useful with a well-timed button press with this feather, jumping at the right time and doing tricks off of things to gain little boosts in order to pass other racers at the last second could be some serious meta. With all the random streets, roads, and tracks in this game, I feel like some of them are bound to have opportunities to use this feather in a great way, and we're just going to have to experiment with it as we play, and that's what kind of makes this game so interesting to me. The endless possibilities of some of the items and the mechanic combinations, it's going to be pretty wild. We know from the game now that when you use the Kamek item, it sends Kamek flying around to the front of the racers and transforming everybody into a specific enemy. And then once you get transformed into that enemy, not only does it spawn those enemies on the track as an obstacle, but it also allows you to unlock that enemy as a new character. Well, we see Kamek actually spawn these Toko Toko enemies from Mario Land here in this desert region, which is straight up a Mario Land reference. But what's interesting is no players transform into these enemies, rather any enemies at all, almost as if Nintendo didn't want to reveal that these could in fact be another type of playable character in this game. Are we going to be able to drive as the Toko Toko enemies? It would be hilarious, but also interesting to make me wonder, are there still tons of other characters that we don't know about? Because there's other scenes of things spawning like Thwomps and Sumo Bros, so it makes me wonder, are those going to be playable characters as well too? Or are these just obstacles? Who knows? But I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more in this Nintendo Direct. There's even more evidence of this because we can see all the racers get turned into Piantas here from Kamek, but Kamek actually spawns a Boom Boom, not a Pianta, as an actual track enemy. So are they hiding the fact that we can probably play as Boom Boom as well, and they're just replacing it with other characters at this point? I don't know. This is a racer that got hit with a total of 6 blue shells while playing the demo and playing Knockout Tour, and ended up losing at the very end because of getting hit by 6 blues. So it seems like, yeah, there's not going to be a lack of blue shells in this game. In fact, there were 7 blue shells launched in a total of these 6 laps of this race, and this player with the Yoshi got hit by 6 of them. Also, I don't know if you noticed here, but if you get hit by a blue shell on the water, it actually sends out a huge shock wave of water around the surrounding area that other racers can even trick off of that I've seen in some of the demos, which is a crazy physics effect. Lots of the demos gave us a glimpse of the music that's actually playing in each region. For instance, if you're just driving down one of the intermission roads while playing in free roam, you'll get remixes of past Mario Kart songs, but also past songs from Mario games as well. And I just so happened to find clips of probably 2 of my favorite songs from the Mario franchise. This one being Chain Link Charge, which is remixed from Mario 3D World. This one's in the middle of an actual race, and it plays one of my favorites once again, being Buoy-Based Galaxy, turning obviously from Super Mario Galaxy and having a rock vibe to it, which just fits the theme perfectly. Talked about how the free roam map seems to have 3 different types of collectibles, from P-switches to question blocks, and also these weird gold peach coins, and we get to see one of them in actual gameplay. In this demo gameplay, we can see someone actually found one of the peach coins as she was waiting for the next match to load up while going in free roam, and she collects the coin, nothing really happens, and she just kind of drives off the ledge and falls into the lava. Of course, this is just a demo, so they're not going to show us exactly what this does yet, but it is very interesting. Something else you probably noticed is in the actual art of the game, you can see a UFO that's floating above what looks like Sarasa Land, but it's actually Shy Guy Bazaar, but it seems to be themed around Mario Land and Sarasa Land. We've even seen costumes that reference this for Daisy, and like you've already seen, the Toko Toko enemies return. But it seems to be something else as well. Somebody that played the demo talked about their experience and talked about they were shocked to find that they could actually drive a giant speedboat. Now, we've seen this before and I've already talked about this gameplay. It seems like we can drive giant vehicles like semis and speedboats, but there seems to be even more as well, because they state that's not even the strangest moment I experienced in my time with free roam. Later in the same session, I was driving along a countryside hill, minding my own business, when I was abducted by a UFO. I crossed over its strange beam of light, and suddenly I was flying the UFO across the world. Mario Kart World seems full of these moments, weird oddities that fill the world to make it feel exciting. So it seems as if there's a ton of these little machines that we can actually drive into and control, like we've seen with the speedboat and with the semi, which is pretty interesting, a flying UFO. Of course, we gotta have some type of air vehicle, and I think there's gonna be others as well. Like I mentioned before, it looked like we could see a helicopter in one scene, so I'm really excited to see how many of these vehicles there are and how much of a big role they'll play in the game. If it's big or small, I'm excited either way, because these are some cool little additions. Someone else mentioned the fact that it looks like you can see what seems to be some type of ranking symbol, or maybe it's just a badge or some type of achievement that this player has. There's no other information about this image, but this is pretty interesting. I am expecting this game to maybe have some type of ranked system online, but whether this is just an achievement thing, some type of badge, I really don't know. And last but not least, there's a crazy theory going around that Mario Kart World is a lot bigger than what we've seen so far. I do not believe this theory whatsoever, but some people think that the bottom part of the globe in the logo is literally just everything that we've seen so far. That the other continents on the globe that we haven't seen yet is just more parts of the world and more tracks that they've been hiding for us. That this game is just absolutely massive, and I doubt it. I do think this game is going to be massive regardless, but I do not think that this is, just a small part of extra stuff that we haven't even seen yet. I don't think there's other islands. I don't think there's other areas. I think this map is our map. There's just a lot of things on it that we don't know about yet. But yes, those are all the new clips that we have right now from people playing the demos and from the actual Nintendo Treehouse events that we've seen so far. But yeah, this show is going to have a lot. Personally, what I would love to see the most, just for me, is I would really want to see a story mode. To me, it's like the main thing that needs to happen. You have this giant map, have some type of story mode that goes hand in hand with it. Actual story missions like we had with the mission mode on the DS, boss battles, story beats, that would be great. I'd also really love to see that there's a bunch of more characters characters. I mean, we already have 50, but them like even bringing it up to close to 100 would actually make my jaw drop. And last but not least, I would love them to kind of have some type of new gimmick or something going on with some of these straightaways to show us why that they're actually not that boring. Right now, we've only seen like 100cc races, and they look like slow, boring straightaways with just a couple of enemies tossing things at you. So I hope that there's some stuff that they're hiding from us and stuff that we haven't seen yet. But I'm really excited for this direct. Let me know what you're expected to see in this show, and thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.